The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.
Spinal adjustments provided by Dr. Chad Rolfson. The Spinal Tuning Chiropractic Center is a Des Moines area low flat fee per month unlimited chiropractic care practice. When life happens, just adjust. Schedule today at spinaltuning.com. Barbecue provided by Kenny's Rib Wagon. Catering ribs for your pleasure and serving daily at Plaza Pub, 62nd and Douglas in Des Moines across from Merle Hay Mall. Find Kenny's Rib Wagon on Facebook. The thoughts and opinions of this program are strictly those of the host and the guests, not necessarily shared by anyone in the universe, let alone shared by the host and the guest. Dimension, a measurable extent of some kind, such as length, breadth, depth, or height, an aspect or feature of a situation, problem, or thing. Fear, an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain or threat. Knowledge, facts, information, and skills acquired by a person through experience or education, the theoretical or practical understanding of a subject, awareness of familiarity gained by experience of a fact or situation. Imagination, the faculty or action of forming new ideas, or images or concepts or external objects not present to the senses. The ability of the mind to be creative or resourceful, the part of the mind that imagines things. A dimension, as vast as space and is as timeless as infinity, between light and dark, somewhere in the middle of science and superstition, lying between fear and knowledge, the dimension of imagination. Welcome to the Daily Planet. I am your host, Jimmy Olsen, and I had an opportunity to chat with Phil Vassar earlier this week, and I just wanted to share that interview with you. We talked pandemic, we talked hobbies, habits, we talked music, and then, of course, we talked fallacy. It was actually a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoy it, too. So here you go. With you, please welcome with me, ladies and gentlemen, Phil Vassar. Phil, how are you doing, buddy?
Man, you are coffeeed up. You are coffeeed up. You said you weren't, but you sound good, man. You got more energy than I've got. I'm going to step up my game this morning.
Well, you know how it is. It is a game, and you just got to, fake it until you make it, as they say.
Fake it till you make it. Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. Yes, for sure.
Yes, you have. You've been doing this for many years. But before we get into some of those things, because I got a couple of things that just kind of like remind people, because they feel like they're kind of out of it a little bit. But all of a sudden, you're kind of like busier than the Yankees and Sox playing the Field of Dreams. All of a sudden. Yeah,
you're not kidding. That's great. I love it. I love my job. It's so fun to get to play music again, to get to come out and see you guys, and we're zooming through Iowa and the Midwest, so it's really, really fun. I'm excited, Jimmy. I really am.
So now, over the whole pandemic thing, I mean, because we all kind of got locked down a little bit. Did you pick up any bad habits, or maybe start any decent hobbies to kind of pass the time?
Yeah, I started a bad hobby. I started a TV show, which is we finished shooting Songs from the Cellar on Circle Network. We did 40 episodes of that, so we pretty busy with the podcast and all that. So we, you just do different things, it was great. We did 40 episodes of that. We had everybody on there from Peter Frampton to Vince Gill and Mike Tyson, and
wow.
It was great.
That sounds fun. So podcast, give me a little bit on that podcast really quick.
Well, it's called Songs from the Cellar, and we shot the TV show, and the podcast is on there if you ever want to check that out too.
And I'm sure that's available pretty much wherever podcasts can be downloaded. They go check it out.
Anywhere, yeah. So I mean, that's of course, guys like you who are tech savvy know this kind of stuff. So it's but it was cool for me. It was like, man, you need to do a podcast. And I said, a what? And
you're giving me a lot. You're giving me a lot of credit there. That I know just enough to get me in trouble.
Well, me too. And I do get in trouble. So it's but it's been fun, Jimmy. It really has, man. And we're doing all that stuff, and then now getting back to playing music again is really, really. That's what we do. I mean, it's what we crave, as entertainers, and I've been writing a bunch, again, and working on the music. So I guess you just never really, really stop. And I got to at least be with my kids. I have two daughters, and I get to spend more time with them than I've ever gotten to spend with them. And we've had so much fun.
You know, I've heard that story so much over the past year and a half with everything that's going on, and you're right. We're talking with Phil Vassar, and yeah, I mean, music. It's been your life. I mean, you learned how to play piano. You started playing the clubs. From the clubs, you're writing songs, and I mean, just with your own stuff that's out there. I mean, you've got writing credits. You know, with Tim McGraw for a little while. My Next 30 Years, Jody Messina, Bye Bye, and I'm All Right. Colin Ray's Little Red Rodeo, even Blackhawk and their Postmark Birmingham, and so. A question with all of these songs. I mean, again, the stuff that you've written for yourself on your albums, have you ever added any of those pre-recorded songs that, you know, by others? Have you added those to any of your projects?
You know, on my greatest hits record, you know, when I did that, I did cut 4 or 5 of the songs that were number one songs for me as a writer. I think Little Red Rodeo and I think For a Little While and My Next 30 Years, and some of those were on there. You know, along with my hits, you know, The Paradise and Carlene and all those songs, and Back Summer. So it was really good for me to actually do that. A lot of people, you know, of course, when I first started out, I'd had the success as a songwriter, and people were just like, "Man, why are you doing those Jody Messina songs?" Or "Why are you doing the Alan Jackson?" I don't understand. I said, "Well, I wrote those songs, and
because they're mine.
Because they're my songs."
That's right.
So it was, it's fun, you know, and I think it was. You know, of course, it gave me a lot to do when when you come out, man, you've got one song on the radio, but at least I could back it up with a bunch of songs people had heard. And so it did give me kind of a quick start, which I really, really was lucky, you know, to have that.
Well, and you just did that again because one of your recent releases called Stripped Down, you put on their Postmark Birmingham.
I sure did. You know, I'd never gotten to cut that, and I always wanted to, so I really sort of recorded it like I demoed it, and when I gave it to the Blackhawk guys, it was just a piano vocal, and the Stripped Down record was a lot of fun, man. Of course, I did it in my studio here at the house, and I do most of my records here anyway, all of them, just about anymore. But I just enjoyed doing that and getting back to some of the songs. I went, God, man, I've always wanted to record that song, and we were like, well, why don't we? Okay. Well,
I've got some time, and I got a studio. Why don't you just go down there and do something?
That's right. There's nothing else to do, so let's go do that. So it was really sort of a cathartic thing to do that.
Well, again, we are chatting with Phil Vassar, and Phil, before I let you go, I want to we need to have a little bit of fun. I'm a little kind of headline truth or fiction here. So I want to find out if these headlines are true or if they are fallacies, just because I wanted to say fallacy. So are you ready?
Fallacy, man, that's pretty good. Stop using these big words with me, Jimmy. It's too early.
All right, so here we go. Here is your first headline. So Walmart to buy Amazon rainforest and rename it Walmart Woods.
I hope not. I don't know. Maybe it would be good. Maybe if they did that, that would be great. But I'd say I'd say it's a fallacy.
And we're going to say that is correct. That is not true. I guess Costco was looking at it, but they couldn't figure, a good thing to name it. All right, so here's your next headline. New mac and cheese ice cream sells out in hours.
Mac and cheese ice cream. There's so many different flavors. I got to say that's true.
And it is true because Kraft actually made this special mac and cheese ice cream just for Mac and Cheese Day. I mean, it went for like $12 a pint and it sold out. I mean, it was within like hours. It was crazy.
Sounds disgusting, but maybe it's good. I mean, good mac and cheese is hard to beat. You gotta admit that.
That is true. All right, here we go. Next one. Apple to introduce new credit card called iPaid. iPaid.
Sure. I'll take yes on that.
Well, actually, that is not true, but I'm surprised they haven't figured that out. I mean, they do have the Apple credit card that they tie to your iPhone anymore.
I know they do all that stuff, and which always kind of scares me. And my daughter was like, Dad, I need a credit card so I can put it on my iPay. I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You're good.
All right, here we go. Next headline. 60% of Americans say that they are thriving in a new Gallup poll.
Sure.
Yeah, and that is true. In fact, optimism is king right now, which is nice. All right, here you go. Scientists discover new dinosaur that had 10,000 teeth.
Wow. Okay, I'd say yes.
No, actually, that is a fallacy. It would be a tooth fairy. It would be a tooth fairy's worst nightmare. But yeah, 10,000 teeth. So yeah, that is not true.
Yeah, that'd be a living. That somebody can make a living off 10,000 teeth. That's for sure.
All right, so Bezos just did his flight into space. So they said that Bezos says future space flights will have in-flight movies.
Who knows? I hope not. I would. That guy, who knows, man? The guy gets to fly to space. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, I doubt it.
Yeah, and that is not true. That is a fallacy. All right, here we go. Our final one to go. Super Mario Brothers game sells for $1.56 million.
I believe it.
And that is true. It was a sealed copy from 1996. It was a Super Mario 64. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Phil Vassar.
I did the best I could, my friend.
There's no prizes, and the points don't matter, so there you go. You know what? We're looking forward to seeing you at Guthrie's River Ruckus. Thank you so much for your time, man, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks, my brother. I can't wait to see you guys, man. Thanks again, buddy.
I hope you enjoyed the interview that I had there with Phil Vassar. If you enjoyed this, be sure to share it on social media, wherever you follow along. You can also always find me on both Facebook and Twitter, even on YouTube at My Buddy Jimmy 101, and I'm out there on Instagram and TikTok and kind of all over the place. But thank you so much for listening to The Daily Planet.
The Jimmy Olsen Radio Network.